Alright guys, I'm back with a different kind of video from any other reaction video I've had in the past. This is about a guy who is in 2027, right? So he's in the future. So apparently he woke up in a hospital bed and realized there was nobody around. So he's documenting his life. He's walking around the streets of, I believe it's Spain, and documenting experience that there's no one around. So let's get into this video and see what's up.
You woke up one day to the terrifying reality that you were the only one left on Earth. Meet Javier, aka Único Sobreviviente, which means lone survivor. He claims to have woken up in a hospital with no recollection of who he was. When he wakes up, he notices that there's no nurses, no doctors, nobody in the hospital at all. When he goes outside to investigate, there's no cars moving, nobody on the streets, not even a bird flying in the air. Yeah, no animals. Now he's recording all of these videos and people are asking so many questions, including myself. At first glance, when you watch these videos, they're very entertaining. You're like, oh, he must be recording them early in the morning. Maybe he did it during one of the lockdowns.
I kind of wish I actually watched the videos that this guy originally sent out as opposed to another reaction video. But we're already here because he made a comment about there's no birds in the air. Only snippets so far. You know, it's 10-second, you know, not even 10-second, like 5-second clips. So I mean, are we really? What's the likelihood of us actually seeing birds in the sky? You know,
just filmed a bunch of videos and he's just releasing them now, but that's not so. The more I watched, the more I became scared. If you ever watch movies like I Am Legend, shows like The Walking Dead, you know that there's a lot of money involved in those production sets. Millions of dollars on CGI to make it look like the world is desolate. Now Javier's only using his phone to film and uploading these videos barely edited on.
I mean, I get the whole film part, but at the end of the day, like, we've been in a lockdown, and if I remember right, Spain was, you know, I guess they got hit the hardest, or one of the hardest countries. So I mean, I don't think it's out of the ordinary if this stuff was actually recorded during COVID times and when they had a bunch of lockdowns. But so far I see it's not really nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, nothing too crazy. That highway shot at the beginning was a little wild, right? But besides that, so far I really haven't seen anything that's pretty convincing for me, at least.
To Tik Tok, and he lives in a very big city. Now, as he starts getting his memory back, he remembers that he was in 2021. When he looks at computers, looks at his phone, everything is exactly the same as 2021, except all the dates
that can be manipulated.
Electronic device
I'm not worried about
is
that.
saying 2027. He realizes that there's some sort of connection between 2021 and 2027. He still has access to the internet, and he's even shown different locations, exact coordinates to where he's at, and leaving things. This is something like a parallel world, a different dimension, but a connection from 2027 where he's at and 2021. What I find rather fascinating and unique is he's going to these places that are populated, and that's what makes me wonder, like, did he really do this during lockdowns and just leave those things there, and then
probably
this master plan of people finding them later on? You're not going to want to miss this.
Right, hold on. With this freaking, if he's leaving things in different places, right, and he's leaving coordinates for people to go and find them, how in the world would that keychain or whatever thing that he's leaving gets to that location? Like, wouldn't it be like a floating object if this guy is not visible, right? And does it just reappear the moment he drops it off at a particular place? That part doesn't make any sense to me.
As the story gets even crazier. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, this cannot be real. There is something that he's doing, maybe some virtual reality, maybe some tricks with his camera, maybe he's paying people. Valencia, Spain is huge.
I love the music in the background. It just adds suspense to it.
2.5 million people. When you see some of these videos, even during lockdowns, you can see birds in the air. You can see, I mean, this is, you know, of course, other videos that people are posting of where he's been. There are people there. very crowded areas. I put myself in his shoes. Like, he's probably really scared. He's by himself. What would you do? Think about it. I mean, this surpasses every fear. Imagine being all alone. Us human beings, like, we have a connection. We have a connection to other people, to animals. We need that connection. We need those relationships. Nobody
Dude, the
around.
production value for this guy is actually pretty dope.
Happens to you, like, that's it. It's just you. Now, this is where it gets interesting. There's followers of his on his TikTok videos requesting certain locations for him to go and explore and to show that there's no one there. We're not just talking about regular places. These are historic landmarks.
That's a dope idea, actually.
Churches,
it is.
Hospitals, even a soccer stadium. Some have argued that he's going early in the morning, but he continues to prove people wrong. In this video, Javier shows a comment on the screen, and the comment says this: all your videos are made super early in the morning at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. when there's no one around. He then goes with this comment on the screen to a heavily populated part of the city with a clock, a public clock, and shows that the time is 5:46 p.m.
All right, that's going to be hard to manipulate, but how long was that clip? Right, in this video, that clip is probably 4 seconds long. Is there a likelihood that he's able to record that area for 4 seconds where there's no one who passes by? Right, it's very narrow. The shot is very narrow, right? There's a possibility that he's capable of doing that. But again, I'm not from Spain. I don't know what that street looks like in that particular area. So, but again, like, I'm not even convinced yet.
I think that's military time. And I don't know about you, I mean, here in America at 5 o'clock, it's rather busy. People are just getting out of work. That's considered rush hour.
Keep looking for signs of life. I think people who live in Spain are going to be the ones that can really vouch for this. I mean, today I was able to eat. Well, the beach is different. I mean, there's always patches of, you know, sand where there's nobody there, like areas where there's nobody present. So I mean, this is, you can might as well delete this.
Now, this is Javier's TikTok page. I encourage you
man, not
to go
following
check it out.
anybody right now.
Let him know that Omar
TikTok
sent you. Now, when I first came across this TikTok page, you know, I was like, it's all in Spanish. Now, luckily for me, I know how to read Spanish. I mean, yeah, Spanish was my very first language. Fun fact about your boy Omar Gosh TV here. There's some things that I don't know. I would say English is my primary language. Okay, so this person pretty much says go inside of an airport. I understand that there's maybe some travel restrictions.
That's different.
There,
airport is wild.
No, I mean, it even shows flights there, and it shows the times. And, I mean, this place is just completely empty. Lights flickering there. This person said they'll give him $500,000 if they do that. You know, he goes into the bathroom, completely empty.
Forget the bathroom. Go to the fucking airplane. At that point, then I know I believe you.
Why don't you go into an airplane? And I think it's great. I think it's really fun looking at some of the comments.
Somebody else had the exact same thing.
Passing through the river.
Bro,
or passing by.
Ain't nobody care about no river. You had an opportunity. You were at the airport. The only way for me to really believe you is do what that guy in the comments said. Go to the airplane. Go to the runway. I guarantee you fucking can't. Guarantee you can't. You might have pulled with these other places. You might have timed the amount of people in the streets and, you know, wherever you're going to go. Okay, that's cool. But an airplane, good luck. Good luck. That would have sealed the deal with me. I didn't need to watch anything more than that. If you walk through the airplane and you actually went inside, go into the cockpit, at that point, you don't need to record any more videos. I believe you. But you did it. Now we're going to, I don't know, he's talking about going to a river or something.
And, I mean, you can see there's no cars on the streets, nobody walking around. I mean,
that was the first sign right there, man.
The I mean,
go to the fucking airplane.
See any birds in the sky? I mean, I'm looking. I've been looking. You guys might be able to help me on this. I mean, I don't understand. So somebody says to go to a Mercedes dealership and grab a Mercedes. So he finds this key right here, and I guess he's looking around and see what car this key belongs to, and he finds it. It's right outside. I mean, how was he able to do this upon request? Somebody requested him to go to a Mercedes dealership, and look, he's driving the car. He's the only one on the street, and this looks like dusk. There's somebody in the comment of this video saying, I'm starting to believe that what you're going through is real now. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm believing it too. This guy is trapped in another.
Why are you believing it? Why are you believing it? This is not enough evidence for me to jump out the window for this guy. Not gonna happen. Nope. You went to a Mercedes dealership. Okay, you grabbed the key. You walked around. You found a Mercedes. You found one key, which is all right. Whatever. Got in a car and proceeded to drive in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, which is probably nobody's in the streets, right? The Mercedes dealership, we don't know if he worked at the dealership. We don't know if he has a homeboy or a friend that's let him use it off hours, maybe on a Sunday when they're probably not open. Who knows? That's not convincing enough. And this guy's hyping it up. And he does a really good job hyping it, right? Because with the music and with the mic that he's using, has a lot of bass to it as well. It makes it seem so much more suspicious, right? So much more like, oh my God, this is strange as fuck, right? And that's his production value, and that's the stuff that he's doing to kind of hype up the video. But I like him. I might actually look at his other videos. He has a, I don't know if this is like his other videos. I actually might watch them.
Mention, not just in time, but some sort of connected world, except there's nobody in his world but him. And this one right here, he goes to the Palacio de Marquez, and they said they'll give him $500,000, and he's in there, a place that would be very busy, usually filled with people. Nobody there.
Again, the only way for you to convince me is to do something where you're not going to be able to pay someone off for, right? You're telling me there's not an opportunity where you might be able to pay, maybe coming in on a specific day, really early in the morning, or maybe on the weekend, or maybe like a Sunday, like places where it might be closed, and just say, hey, I will give you X amount of dollars. You can walk with me, just stand behind the camera and allow me to walk around your facility, right? If there's a possibility that someone can get paid off for it, it ain't a good enough excuse for me. It's not a good enough reason to jump out the window for this guy.
Busy city, no security guards, nobody. Anyways,
in fact, it'll be a lot more convincing for me if you decide to go break some property, damage something, damage that Mercedes you had, right, at the dealership. You're at a museum right now, right? Break something and let me know. Then I'll believe you.
In this video, he has some keychains, still looking around for birds. Don't see any, but he hides this keychain and leaves a latitude and longitude location right on the screen for somebody to find this, being that there's a connection between 2027 and 2021. If he leaves something behind, somebody's gonna find it. Hides it in a tree. I mean, this is fascinating. Either that or, I mean,
it's not that fascinating
when it comes to editing and special effects. But what makes this crazy, I mean, the
guy's walking around with a piece of metal, right? If we're talking about alternate universe and there's actual people around him, wouldn't that floating device or that floating object be floating, right? As he's walking to this place and drops it down. When does it become tangible is my question. When does it become tangible? It's not logical. I'm sorry, it's not.
See, nobody in the background. But let's go to the next clips here. People are actually sharing that they found his keychain.
Oh man, this guy hit us with a double ad, huh?
Find a New Balance transfer card, a credit card. When you transfer...
with the coordinates that he gave them. Now, this person is also showing that the area that he was in is a populated area. You can see people walking their dogs. You can see people jogging, having picnics, and there it is. There's the keychain right there. He put a note there for them. This guy is.
I don't care about the keychain.
There's another one right here. Guy found it. I mean, did he go out early in the morning when nobody was around and film these shots?
Probably.
Right before he posted the video?
Probably.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not that surprising,
bro.
This
is so cool. This one right here, somebody tells him, why don't you go to the subway? Nobody there. Nobody at the subway. And I don't know if you've seen that shot of him walking in. It's still daytime. How is there nobody around? I mean, I know that there's some lockdowns in certain countries, but there's still people doing things. There's still people out there. Maybe he has some connections to, I mean, I know that when the lockdowns were first happening, I mean, you could get arrested for being in some parts.
Or maybe he's just risking being arrested.
I don't know where you're at. I mean, he's walking around and there's nobody around. I mean, look, he just gets right past the gate. Don't need your Metro card, bud. Nope.
I gotta watch the original videos, man. Because how long are these videos?
Places. On this one, somebody challenged him, why don't you go back to the hospital? See if you could find some information about yourself. Maybe some paperwork. So he goes to the hospital. I mean, this is his vision of when he woke up in the hospital and he didn't know where he was. I mean, that had been so confusing. Nobody around. And you can clearly see there's nobody around.
All right, this is a little bit more convincing, right? And the only reason I say that is because, especially if it's during COVID time, this whole place will be packed. If this is a legitimate hospital, right? I don't live in Spain. I don't know what hospital this is. You know, I can't verify or validate. This will be a little strange, right? Because it looks like a hospital. Or is this a psych ward? Right? Could it be any other medical facility? Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's not a hospital. Who knows? This might be, some other medical facility. I'm trying to find every holes I can. I'm telling you right now. I'm not 100% convinced yet.
And it says here that he found some paperwork on him, and he shows it. I guess he found that necklace too, but it says his name there.
All right. Hold up. Let me take this back. How long did it take him to find his paperwork? Right? Have you guys ever been to a hospital and you look at the amount of files? Even though they're alphabetical order, there's got to be a level of like, how do you know their filing system? Right? Every hospital I've ever been to has multiple levels. Right? Which means multiple filing systems. It means different floors. That means different doctors, different areas, stuff like that. How did he manage to find his? And how long did it take him for that? In fact, secondly, am I crazy, but is the font a little too large for it to make sense? Right? That's a pretty big, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a pretty large size font. As if you probably went on Microsoft Word and typed it up yourself. Look at the stuff in the bottom, right? You see that it has a little star next to it, the asterisk next to it. Normally those are more the fine print, which is supposed to be like a smaller size print. What the fuck does this paper even say? His name, his address, and what? Like, what is this? Seriously, what is this? This is just like, it has a logo. This thing could have been made in Microsoft Word easily. And the font is what fucks me up. Like, it's not a common font, right? I'm looking at this font. Not that it's not common, but it doesn't seem like it'll be something on a medical document, right? And the reason I'm saying that, because the font looks a little too large. The size is too large, as if you want to make it big enough so you can capture it on camera. That's my guess. I don't know. That's my observation, but this paper is not convincing me at all.
Where it does say the date too. Yeah, 2021.
Look how large that is.
Weird. Okay, this one by far has to be probably my favorite for good reason. It's scary. He goes to the zoo. I don't know. I mean, did they take the animals out of the zoo? And still, like, how was he able to have access to a zoo? You can see they still have fountains running. I still don't see birds in the sky. This looks like an area where there would probably be maybe some chimpanzees.
If anyone's been to a zoo, there's certain parts of the area where it's available during, I guess you could say during when visitors can come and the animals are there invisible, but then there's also areas where there is no animals there, right? They'll have locations like that, right? They don't have them out there all the time. Again, another location, another place where it can be paid off. Hey, I'll give you $1,000, right, to just, hide those 3 monkeys that's over there so I can walk around here. Everything is, you can pay for it.
Some large cats, maybe an elephant or two. There's no animals at the zoo. They all disappeared. That was probably...
No, he's only showing you what he wants to show you.
Bigfoot. But yeah, there's no animals. Where'd the animals go? Is this an abandoned zoo? It looks pretty kept up. The lawn is freshly mowed. The landscape looks nice. I mean, as you can see in the earlier shots, the fountains were on in the water. Where are the animals?
Can he do a test? Because I'm confused. If we're talking about parallel universe and the grass is mowed down, couldn't he just put a camera up at the grass and watch it grow and then watch it disappear and it going back down as if it was mowed again, right? Wouldn't that when does the transition start and end, right? He could prove that as well too. It's weird. It's just stupid.
This one's pretty cool. So he asks Alexa.
It's time to help people customize.
Man, this guy's getting paid with this app. I mean, with this video. Way too many. Another double banger.
¿Qué fecha es hoy?
Es domingo, 21 de marzo de 2027.
March 21st on a Sunday, 2027. Alexa said it.
Now, could he have edited the video of him asking Alexa, hey, what is going to be the date 4 years from now? Damn, I just thought about that on the fly right there. Hey, in 4 years or whatever, in 6 years, 7 years from now, what is it going to be? What's the date 7 years from now? Alexa will give him that date, would it not? All he needs to do is edit his verse of what he said, the sentence that he said, the question that he asked on video. That's not convincing enough for me. There's holes in every single thing that he's shown us so far. Cool. You went to a firehouse, big deal. I don't know what that is. Restaurant, 5-star, going to a restaurant. Okay, again. Again, hey owner, you can follow me as I record through your building, through your facility. Expiration date on any product in the store. Still not convincing enough. I don't care. Oh, that one can. Oh.
Okay, this was one that definitely made me scratch my head. I thought that this was a good idea, whoever wanted him to do this. They said to go to a police station. This is what I find weird. He has a key to get inside the police station. Like, I mean, maybe he found the key outside. I don't know. One of the police cars is running too. I don't know if he goes inside.
We're just gonna brush through the fact that the guy has a fucking key to it, right? I'm probably looking too much into the key because he actually recorded himself using the key. Because it was something that was off, so he probably wouldn't record himself with that. But at the end of the day, you have a key, bro. Like, how do you get a key? This will explain a lot. If this guy was a cop, this would explain a lot, right? Because he will have the authority and the ability to block off roads. Would he not? Who's gonna fucking stop him? Who's gonna question him? Right? Even the subway. Can't you put up a bunch of cones and some yellow tape and say, hey, you can't be here for the next 10, 20 minutes? So as he records, this is making more and more sense. Him going to the police station. Motherfucker has a key. Come on, let's be real.
Police station, or he tries to go in.
And in fact, there's a car running. Come on, bro. What are we doing
As
here?
you can see, there's nobody in there. I mean, cops usually freak out if you're trying to break into the police station. And yeah, this police car is...
Bro, there are police stations, and I don't know how it is in Spain, but there's police stations that literally, if you're not in the big city, they literally have like office hours, legitimate, like police stations with office hours, where they'll be closed by 5 o'clock p.m. So if you want to roll in there by 6, give or take, or get there a little bit early before they open up, before any officers show up or any dispatch people show up, you can do that. This is not convincing as well.